Hi, everyone. It's Alex from the Mentoring Effect, and welcome to my Airborne Entrepreneur Podcast. And I would like to share a few things. I had amazing interviews that I will publish very shortly. That will be Ada Bowman and Dr. David Shiraz. There are two different topics, absolutely different industries, and I can't wait you to hear it. And I would like to just add to that because today with Dr. David Shiraz, we touch on a few different diseases, and we went to fear and why we can't sleep, and we were talking about very shortly about anxiety or depression. We didn't go deeper because we had a lot of different topics during the interview. But I was thinking about what happened to me, and I would like to share that because it is actually something that I teach in my Quantum Leap program, and also something that you can implement if you have any fear or traumatic experience. I'm not saying that you will heal yourself straight away, but that is something that helped me so much. And I can talk about my experience. My experience or my stress was coming from a few years ago when we had a few burglars coming or trying to come into our house and or break into our house, and I was very stressed. I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't sleep for 5 nights in a row sometimes. And you're going to the sleep, and when you are alone in bed, you hear everything, all sounds around, everything, wind or neighbors or car is going passing around, and it was so stressful. I always woke up with stress on the sound, and I couldn't get sleep because I was creating those visions and pictures in my head that there is already someone in the house, and I saw burglars in the house, and I saw all those pictures in my head, and I realized that I was causing, with my thoughts, I was causing the problem and issue and stress in my body. And this is the major thing. Like we do a lot of stories, or we create a lot of stories coming from fear, frustrations, anger, and those all it's kind of like a resistance. It's a feeling of, like, it's a bad feeling, negative feeling in your body, and it caused by us coming from that fear or thinking from that fear or frustrations or bad experience, bad memories. All those filters we are using for our thinking actually causing our feeling. And I want you to remember, like, we are not our thoughts. They're just coming from our filters. They're coming from memories, experience, past experience, and they're coming from any situation, or our beliefs or our values, our standards, our attitude. We're just creating those thoughts based on us, based on our anger, when we're coming from anger or frustration or from resistance in general. And how we can change that and realize that we can change how we feel, what are our emotions, and they are expressed in your body. That means if you can change how you feel, you can change your physiology. And that was so important to me to kind of realize that, and create a program, or part of the program, that is actually helping people to become more calm. They are in ease. They're coming from love or compassion, from acceptance, from that nice feeling, from I wouldn't call it positive feeling, but it's really calming, and it's really nice to feel that way. That means I always said, okay, try that. And I tried it. And actually I did like a small, I guess, research on myself. And I was like, I don't want tablets. I don't want any pills. I don't want anyone to calm me down with pills. I don't like to be numb. And I don't believe in any antidepressants and stuff like that when you actually are not having that big problem. It's just the stress or trauma or traumatic events that happen in your life, that you don't need pills on that or for that. And I was doing that for myself. I was like, okay, let's give it a time. It will probably take some time, but let's try to sleep. And it was at the point that I was desperate, of course. Like, we usually change things when we are desperate. And I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep sometimes 5 nights in row, and I was functioning, during the day. That means I didn't sleep so many hours all week. And Saturday, Sunday, I was able to sleep. That means I was going to sleep because somebody was at home or my partner was at home, and I went to sleep. And I felt great, but I was every weekend or every 2 days when I was able to sleep, I felt more and more tired, more and more desperate. And my brain was not working. I couldn't think and I didn't know what to do. That's why I started this small research, small trial on myself. And I'm so passionate about that because it's actually working. And what I did a few different things. First of all, of course, there is nutrition. There is some stuff you do before. There was something that I started to do a little bit of yoga, a little bit of meditation. I started to learn some breathing techniques a little bit deeper, how they can actually help me. I was doing a lot of stuff around that as well. And of course, I was working with thoughts, neuroscience, how I can use it, how I can change my physiology. And I realized there were a few things that probably helped me the most. That was, of course, breathing. Breathing techniques are always great because slow inhale and exhale, it's actually calming your body down. And when you feel like you're so stressed, under stress, or you feel anxiety, the first and most important thing is to start to focus on your breath. And that was what I was doing, but it was not helping that much. I was like, "It's still something, like there are still those visions in my head that cause that stress, and always, like a reminder of bad things that happened or what would happen if they are actually breaking into house." And I still had it, and I was thinking, okay, I need to change what I'm thinking about when those thoughts and pictures in my head causing me so much fear or so much stress. Or I was really shaking. I had goosebumps. I felt like my body changed when when that fear was coming. And it was, yeah, I felt like I'm paralyzed. I couldn't move. I was laying down in bed, and I felt like I felt like I'm naked. I'm so vulnerable. Like everyone can hurt me and I can't move. It was very strong experience. And I started to implement more positive thoughts. And I was thinking about traveling. I was thinking when I felt the best in my life, I was thinking about the situation. Now, just thinking about that situation is not going to help. That means use all your five senses. And I was using my pictures, my vision. That means I was actually seeing the picture of me being in Greece, for example, or somewhere else. And I saw that picture and I was thinking, okay, what what was in the air? Did I smell something? And I actually smelled something, and I was trying to connect with that smell. And I was thinking, okay, what did I hear? And I was actually hearing the water from the sea. It was coming through the stones. And I remember that was so unique and so different because they were like a small dark black and dark, I think dark gray, dark brown stones, and very like a very similar stones on the beach. It was so different. I actually probably didn't see the beach like that anywhere else, only in Greece. And yeah, it was so fascinating that I was actually able to take myself through the senses into that place. And I realized I feel better. Like it was actually, it started to work. I was feeling better and better, and I was connecting more and more with all my senses with that positive experience. That means what I did, I was doing this small exercise all the time when I was going to the bed, and I was lonely, and I started to feel that little bit of fear and a little bit of stress. And I was like, oh no, like I just, that will be another night I can't sleep. And I was going back to that stories. I was going back to that picture, that vision, that smell, that feel, that touch. And yeah, I was really into that picture, positive picture that was actually making me feel like I felt freedom. I felt happiness. I was so free because I was actually traveling anytime. I was able to go to Greece one weekend, next weekend to Italy, next weekend to Croatia, and I really didn't have anything, didn't have any responsibilities. I had my business, it was all fine, and it was so great, and I felt probably the best in my life, and I was able to get back to that feeling. And it took me a few months, maybe almost a year, but I can tell now that I got rid of that fear. I get rid of that anxiety, and I can sleep. I'm sleeping every night. I feel so happy because now I have 8 hours sleep, and I'm trying to do that always. And I'm trying to have 8 hours sleep because I know it's so important. And when you will listen our interview as well with Dr. Shirazi, was like he mentioned that is the most important part of healing. It's actually our sleep. And also because I had some trauma. I mean, physical trauma before. That means I actually had to heal, but I couldn't sleep. That means for me, it was really urgent to start to be able to sleep in general. I think if you have any trauma or any bad experience that is coming to you and it's actually stopping you to be healthy or live your life properly, or it can be really big fear of public speaking, there are actually techniques to get rid of that. I was the person that will never ever speak in front of people, and it happened to me when I was like 8 years old. From that day, it's something happened in school, I don't need to go there, but there was another example of stress or trauma what was caused by a teacher, and she probably didn't even realize that what actually she caused me for all life. But I was avoiding all events in the school, everything and everyone who asked me if I want to speak in front of people. I was able to dance, I was able to do anything, I was able to perform, but never ever speak in front of people from that day. And yeah, it's honestly it's sad because I lost so many opportunities to express myself and tell my friends something, maybe on their wedding, or just really be part of that community and friends and your family when you want to really say something in front of people. And I wasn't able even, if there will be only 5 people, I wasn't able to say anything. And now with all the thoughts and changing our physiology through the thoughts, stories, five senses, and exercising and preparing myself and understanding why I'm there, and being there for people, for other people, not for me, helped me so much that I'm able to, first of all, do podcast or do any online event very easily, and also do face-to-face presentations. Even though, sometimes it can come, we can still feel a little bit of stress, and it's because we really care. And when we care, of course, there's a little bit of stress. It will be really strange when we don't have any stress, because that means we don't really care about other people or audience. But it is a little stressful, and but the fear is not stopping me anymore. The fear is not strong. That fear is not going to tell me that no, I'm not coming because I have to speak. I'm actually opposite. It's like, I have to speak, I'm coming for sure. And I'm saying yes to everyone who is asking me to speak because of that, because it's me putting myself there and doing more and more those internal works. Working internally on yourself, on your thoughts, is so important. And you're building up your emotional intelligence when you understand, when you're coming from that resistance, fear, frustrations, anger, or you're coming from love and acceptance and compassion. And I think it's so important for everyone to understand when something is happening in their life and they're really harsh on themselves. A lot of clients always say like, oh, I'm terrible, I'm horrible, or whatever they say about themselves. Those we don't want to use this language, because we are not horrible, we are not terrible, we are pretty awesome people. I mean, just remember that coming from love, even though when you're thinking about yourself or situations, and coming from compassion and acceptance, it's always so important, and it's building up your conscious awareness about life, about yourself, and your conscious decision making, and really responding instead of just reacting on everything what is happening around us and externally. And that's probably the major, I guess, point. Yeah, major point that I would love to share today. And have a lovely, lovely week. And if you would like to check your thinking, access your thinking patterns, or understand how your thinking is actually influencing your decisions in leadership or in family and life, really doesn't matter what area we are talking about, but it's so important to understand how we think, because that's, for me, that's my opinion. Thinking is everything. How we think, that's how we perceive the life. That's our perception. That's what we think, that's what we feel, and that's the most important. How we think, that's how we feel. And yeah, let me know if you would like to check that, and if you would like to know more about your thinking, please feel free to do mini meta profiling tool. That's on my website, thementoringeffect.com. You can actually just click the button there and you can fill in 32 questions. And don't think about answers too much. Just fill the questionnaire, and I will get an email with your profile, and we will connect, and I will explain what that means to you or for you. Okay, have a lovely day. Bye.